everyone. My name's Christy. Welcome to my corner. Thank you so much for joining me today. Flosstube 95, I think. I didn't check. I haven't been here for a Flosstube in 2 weeks, although I have posted 2 videos since I saw you last in Flosstube land. I finished up my tutorial for my Embroidery 101 needlebook class. So we made this needlebook, and I'll post a link to that up here if you're interested in making a needlebook out of stitching or out of something else. And this has a cute little scissors pocket in the back. So that is one video. And then the second video was an unboxing of the Black Needle Society November box, which was Gods, Monsters, and Mythology. So I will post a link to that up here if you're interested in seeing what was in that box. For me, it was actually a really good box because this is not quite my jam. It's Greek mythology, but my jam adjacent. So today I have updates on stitching. I have a finished object that's actually a start and finish that you saw the plan of, but not the actual stitching. I have a brand new start, and it's really, 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 really exciting. It's really exciting, friends. So I look forward to talking about that. I have some happy mail, which is really fun. I have a very large haul. Well, for me, a very large haul. I feel like this is like the haul and happy mail episode. In fact, that's why I split out the Black Needle Society box, because it would have just been all haul, all stash enhancement, and I didn't want that. But before we get to any of that, I want to welcome my new subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me on my crafty and artistic adventures, and welcome back to anyone who's been hanging out with me for however long you've been with me. It has been fantastic to get to know you in the comments here on YouTube and also on Instagram. And if you're not following me on Instagram, you can find me in 2 places, and I'll put them right here. The first one is Dr_Christy, and that's my main Instagram account where I post stitching and my life and stuff like that. Just kind of the things I'm doing, majority stitching or stitch adjacent. And also the other one is right here. It's the spoolery, and that's where I post an homage to vintage wooden spools. I make things out of vintage wooden spools and vintage sewing paraphernalia. So that's where I post that. It's been sort of on a lull, but it's going to pick up because this week is Thanksgiving week in the US, and so I have some time off. And so I'm going to finish up and post some spoolery content, because I'm going to reopen my spoolery Etsy shop if you're interested in getting some spoolie goodness as holiday presents. So that, I was hoping to have that ready before this video, but it just didn't happen. Honestly, I went Christmas tree shopping with my husband instead of doing all that. And I think that that's okay. So we have a nice new Christmas tree. Anyway, that's the spoolery, and that's where you can find stuff about spools and vintage sewing. This is a channel about embroidery and cross stitch, other textile crafts, and history and the history of all of those things. So if any of that is interesting to you and you're not subscribed, I'd love to have you subscribe and stick around. I think I'm going to start with happy mail because I received my holiday secret stitching exchange that was organized by Heather. Link is my homeboy. I had been secret stitching this all like September and October. So if you remember, I had secret stitching, and I'll talk about my stitching after I talk about what I got. But my secret stitchy partner was Megan, and Twin Mom Stitcher on Instagram. And she sent me this adorable ugly sweater card. But I love this card, and I'm going to do something fun with this card. At least it's going to be put up on our mantle for this Christmas, and then we'll figure something out with it. But I need to show you her stitching. Oh God, I love it so much. Are you ready? Are you ready for the amazing adorableness? Look at that deer. Look at that deer. Is that not the cutest, most amazing ornament you've ever seen? I love this so much. Look at it, sparkly. She put beads all over it. I love this so much. This is going on my brand new tree. Love this. Megan, I love this. This is, I mean, and I thanked you already on Instagram, but if you, I don't know if you watch my channel, but I love this so much. Like, this is the cutest thing. But that's not all she sent me. And I can't show you everything that she sent me right now because some of it's in a project already. But she sent me some on theme deer socks. So cute. And tiny little gnome notebooks. So cute. I love these. Can we just talk about like how perfect her stitching is? Can we talk about that? Can we talk about how perfect her stitching is? I mean, like, those are some excellent X's. So thank you so much. And like I said, there's one more thing that is in a project, and I'll show you when we get to that project. So that's my happy mail. And the person I got was Carrie from Carrie and Stitches, and I'll link her down below. And she received it, and I stitched her a Barbara Anna design, and I don't have the magazine. It's from a magazine, and I don't know which one. I don't have it because I'm apparently not prepared. And I also didn't really photograph it, but I did do a little video. So I have one little screenshot, but this is what it is. It's called Winter Stitching by Barbara Anna. And I just kitted it up from stash, from my cotton stash here. And I used a fat quarter shop Aida with like, it was gray with white polka dots on it. Petit point. But I don't remember, I think it was like 16 count or 18 count or something like that. I don't think it was 14 count. I think it was a larger count Aida than that. So that's what I sent to her, and I think she likes it. So I'm really excited. But it was my first Barbara Anna stitch. So that's pretty exciting too. So that's my happy mail and my secret stitching from October and September and October. That's my secret stitching. So let's talk about my finish now. And I guess I'll actually talk about stitch. I'll talk about stitch. My finish is related to stitch. So my finish is the stitch for our group collaboration. And the brief was to stitch a snarky animal. So I designed a rooster, and the rooster is saying, cluck off cloaca, or cloaca it's pronounced. And I have a rooster. So a cloaca, and I know I've mentioned this before because I showed the pattern 2 weeks ago, but then I stitched them up this week. But a cloaca is the excrement hole of birds. They don't have like an anus sphincter. They don't have like an anus and reproductive holes that are separate. Like they're all the same. So eggs come out of the cloaca. Excrement comes out of the cloaca, sperm goes in the cloaca. Now, obviously, this rooster is not laying eggs, but he still has a cloaca. So I just think it's really funny. And this is being sent off to Michelle G. Bendy Stitchy, who is finishing it in a team journal for us. So I'm going to send that out with some stickers this week. So that is my start and finish. I don't know if I've done anything on my stitch along stitch for this week. The final piece, the final standard pattern just dropped. And this is where I am. And it's going to say, if at first you don't succeed. So people were right when they figured that out. If at first you don't succeed. And then the second part of that is what you get to personalize. So stitch will send out some options of things, but I think I'm going to say, if at first you don't succeed, try reading the syllabus. And I'm going to put it in my office. So that's that. And we have had a couple challenges since last time I saw you. So we had a challenge that was open, and we ended up making a song. And so we replaced but the theme was stay cool. The theme was stay cool. So one of our team members replaced the lyrics to the Snow Miser song from The Year Without Santa or something like that. It's one of those claymation 80s holiday movies. And there was a snow miser who had this song. And so she replaced the lyrics with stitchy themed lyrics, and then we stitched the lyrics and put it in a video. And we did really, really well. But the problem was that we lost points on participation because we had quite a large team and we only got 2 out of 5 points for participation. We had like 20 people participate in this, but it wasn't quite enough. So we got the highest score for the actual project, but a low score for participation, even though we had a lot of participation, but it was like percentage based. So we didn't do so great, but we did break the top 10. We're in the top 10 teams. And then we had an individual challenge. We've had 2 individual challenges. One was stitch on something that has never been stitched on before. And I actually did 2. You could only submit 1, but I did 2 because my first one was I stitched on a tree, and I'll post a picture here of that. But there were 3 other leaves in the competition. So then I decided that I would stitch on a fence, which is right here. And as far as I know, it's still up. I haven't checked today, but it was still up from like 2 weeks ago. So that's really fun. One of my teammates joked that that they're just now having like meetings about what it means before they'll decide if they want to start a committee to take it down. And my response was, oh yeah, there's definitely a task force. Like universities are constantly making task forces for like solving really simple problems, right? They like task forces. The team challenge that was due last week was a cookie recipe. And so we made basically a cookie recipe card with a cookie recipe that was tea based, I think. It was sort of tea and coffee. There were tea cookies and coffee cookies or something like that. And so we made them in the shape of X's and made cross stitch images out of them. And I included my teacup pattern from the Temperature Library 3 pattern as like a little gift to kind of add to the stitchiness. And we didn't do so well on that, unfortunately, which is a real bummer because I think we were the only people who made an actual cross stitch out of cookies. So that was kind of a bummer. So this week we have more time, and we just had a Zoom meeting today to plan. We have more time for our team challenge, and it is recreating an iconic television or film scene and making it about cross stitch. So I am not going to tell you what we're doing, but part of my haul, I'm going to show you right now. I did a little shopping and this is turning into a costume. It'll be fun. I think it'll be really good. I'm really excited. I've been really planning. I'm the editing. I'm going to do the editing for it. So I'm kind of the director just because I think I have the most experience with editing software, even though I'm not an expert, but I did win the first challenge, which was a video. So they're trusting me. So I have to today go through the scene and assign and like say exactly what I need from people so that they can send it to me and I can like include it in the video. I'm feeling really positive about this. I keep having ideas about how I can make sure that it all comes together seamlessly. So yeah, I'm excited. That is due the Monday after Thanksgiving, which is next Monday. So we do have some time. So that's very exciting. All right, that's my stitch and also my stitch plans. I do have another sort of finish. I'm very into visible mending. I follow some visible menders on Instagram. I think that visible mending and I think mending in general is kind of a lost art and is really amazing. So I'm accepting my body the way and the shape that it is. And I'm accepting that I need to clothe my body the way and the shape that it is. And so I bought a few pairs of jeans. I actually bought 3 pairs of jeans, one of which I don't like. But one of which is just like a relaxed high-waisted mom jean, right? Like comfy, wear around town, whatever. It's very hard to find jeans that don't have holes in them. And holes are fine. I can handle holes, right? Like it had holes like this big, I can handle those holes. But I get my jeans and it has holes. Like, it has big stick your feet through it holes when you're trying to put your jeans on. So I'm visibly mending them. And I've gotten one done. And that's what it looks like. So this is like that. And I love it so much. I finished this morning. Actually, I tied all the ends off when I, on my Zoom, on our Stitch-along Zoom. Isn't that so good? So I'm going to do this one, I think, with the green and maybe blues. And it has a gray on top just to kind of tone it down. And so I'll use the gray also. It's not, you know, I mean, it's thin, but the point is that, like, I won't put my foot through it when I put them on. And I don't know how long it'll last. It's just like 4 strands of embroidery floss woven. So I don't know how long it'll last. It may not last long at all. And if it doesn't last, then I will cut it out and redo it, maybe with something stronger. But I mean, it's not like I'm doing heavy labor. Anyway, I'm sorry I keep touching it, but I love it. So that is one of my finished objects, or finished for now, I guess. And then I just need to do this one. And I think I might also do this one. I think I might do them all, because this is also larger than I like in a hole in my jeans. But isn't that pretty? I love it. So I did that. It has a hole in the back pocket too, but I might do that too. Heck, I'll fix all the holes. I'll fix all the holes. Yes, I will. Okay. So that is a finished for now whip object. My next object that I've worked a tiny bit on since last time I saw you is my temperature drink shelf, and this is what it's going to look when it's finished. I show this to you all the time. And this is where I am. So I have done a few glasses at the bottom. I have not been working on this so much. I've been focusing on my rooster, because that has to get out to someone else so that they can do what they need to do with it, right? This I can just catch up on last minute if I have to. But the rooster, someone else, like, I don't want to be the one holding everybody up. So the rooster had to get done. But I'm excited about this. And I'm going to work on this with my mom tonight. So that'll be fun. This is stitched on a 14 count navy Aida 2/2. Yeah, 2/2. No, 2/1. Full cross. 14 count Aida. And the Aida is just like from a tube, and it's just in DMC. And if you're interested in stitching a temperature pattern, I have that one and others in my Etsy shop, which is listed down below. My Christy's Corner Needlework Etsy shop, not my Spoolery Etsy shop. They're 2 separate entities. This is my Heaven and Earth design. It is the Lady and the Unicorn, and this is what it looks like. Lady and the Unicorn. I can't talk. And it is being stitched on a 20 count ivory Aida 2/2, because I like thick coverage. And this is where I am. So and I have a little monkey on the back. So I've been working on this tree up here. I've been trying to fill out this tree. And I'm happy. It's coming. It's coming along. It's coming along. And that makes me happy. I don't know. I don't have much to say about it. I haven't had a ton of time to work on it. I don't know how much I actually have done. I'll put the numbers right here so you can see where I am. But my goal is to finish filling in that tree as much as possible, and then slam in some 817, which is like a bright red, which goes basically a whole bunch of this here is 817. A whole bunch. So I'm gonna, slam some of that in over the holiday, over Thanksgiving break, because I have some time off, and hopefully at least get a little bit caught up, because I'm super behind. And my last whip, which is also a new start, is is a secret. I mean, it's a model stitch. So I'm stitching. I have designed a new pattern based on medieval marginalia, which I think I mentioned a couple weeks ago, and I charted it and I have started it. And this goes back to my Happy Mail, because the floss is on, it's on a sheep. So Megan gave me a sheep floss holder. And so all of my flosses are on the sheep for this secret project. And I'm probably going to end up stitching this project twice because I'm stitching it at first for my friend. And then I'm not loving these two colors in it. But we'll see. Maybe I'll like it at the end. But for now, they're not green enough. It's 503 and 502. 502 and 503. And I love them as colors, but I don't know that they're green enough. It's for like a tree and some grass that's coming out from under the tree. So I'm going to show you my start. It's a very small start. That's all I have for you. But I mentioned that this is a really, really exciting start because it's being stitched on 30 count Mariner's Map Legacy linen. This is my first time ever stitching on linen. I feel like I'm like a teenager now. I'm a stitchy teenager. I'm a stitchy teen. And, you know, my stitches aren't perfect. But I didn't mess up. Aren't you all so proud of me? I would like everyone please to tell me in the comments how proud of me you are that I am attempting to stitch on linen. And so far it's going okay. The start was a little difficult because I'm using, it's a 30 count, so I'm using 3 strands of DMC over 2. But I had trouble starting it because I couldn't loop start, which is what I normally do. And I didn't want, and so I tried to use a pin stitch, but it wasn't working for me. And I think it wasn't working so because I stitch in hand. And I feel like the way the pin stitch was landing, it was just really, really bad. And it kept causing knots. And so I just pulled it out. And so I just did my normal away knot without the knot. I just kind of left a little tail and then wove in the tail at the end. And it turned out okay. Look at that. Those are stitches on linen that I did. I'm going to show you the back side. I'm going to show you my rear. Look at that. It's not neat. Nope, not neat. That is a messy butt. But that's a messy linen butt. So I'm really happy. I'm really, really happy. I'm really proud of myself. Is that dumb? I'm really proud of myself. And I want you all to be really proud of me too. So I need you to tell me how proud of me you are. I need your approval. Anyway. So that is my new start, and I'll probably show this to you a couple more times before I stop showing it to you, essentially. It is, like I said, a new medieval image that I'm really excited about. I think it'll be really fun. It is definitely niche. I don't know that I'm going to sell a ton of them, but I'm really happy to stitch it for myself and my friend. So that's really all that matters in the end. So I think I'm going to do haul last. So I'm going to talk about my plans because I won't see you until after Thanksgiving. And so I do have a Thanksgiving start, and this is in honor of Pam from Stitching the Land of Good Enough. And I will be stitching, and I think her hashtag is Turkey Baby Birthday Sal. Basically, I just stitch something turkey related every year in honor of Pam. Pam was one of my first friends on YouTube, and I value Pam quite a lot. And another one of my first friends on YouTube is Stitcher Trish, and I will post a link to her channel as well as Pam's channel down below. Although if you're watching me, you're watching Pam. But you might not be watching Trish. The reason I'm talking about Trish and Pam together is because Trish sent me Strutting Tom by Lindy Stitches. And I saw Michelle G stitching this like a year and a half ago, and I coveted it. I coveted it like nobody's business. Trish posted that she stitched this and finished it last year, and she sent it to me so that I could stitch it. So I am stitching the pattern that one of my oldest stitchy friends gave me, one of my first stitchy friends gave me, in honor of one of my other first stitchy friends. And that just feels really good to me. I mean, like, I was I was stitchy friends with Trish and Pam before I even cross-stitched, right? When I was just doing embroidery. That's how, I mean, the first year that I stitched a turkey for Pam, I actually designed a blackwork turkey because I didn't do cross stitch. And so I designed a blackwork turkey that I stitched for her. Anyway, so this is my plan, is stitching Strutting Tom by Lindy Stitches. And I plan on starting that on Thanksgiving. The other thing I plan on doing is I plan on filling up this jar, which is my Flossmas Experimadvent project jar. It says to be stitched and it has projects. So just to repeat what I plan on doing, I plan on filming a Flossmas, which is a daily video I'm hoping to do from the 1st to the 25th. That's my hope. I am traveling the week before Christmas, but I should still be able to film and upload. Everywhere I'm going has internet, and I have a little tripod that I'm going to bring with me. So, but I'm also going to each day open up my Advent, which I got, which is over there, which is my Forbidden Fiber Co. Holiday Express Advent box. And I'm going to open up one of those gifts and I'm going to choose a card. That is whatever project I'm going to work on for the day. And these are things that I've either had on my to-do list, but haven't felt like I had the time to do, or they're brand new things that I've never done and I'm just experimenting with them. Or they're wackadoodle ideas that I got at some point that I am just going to try. And that's why it's Experimadvent. So it's the Experiment Advent. I think I'm clever, but I'm not a wordsmith. I'm not nearly as clever as I think I am. But that's what I'm calling it. #Experimadvent. So I will choose the card in the morning, do the thing during the day, and then report back the next day. I won't be like filming throughout the day or anything like that, because then it won't get done. It just won't. But I am definitely going to try my best. And I've been thinking about what I can do while I'm gone, because I obviously can't like bring everything with me. So I think what I might just do is draw like the 17th, I think, is when I'm traveling. So I won't be filming or doing crafts. So I'll be driving like 16 hours. But every other day, I think I'm going to draw cards before I leave and take those projects with me. If they're small. I don't know that they'll all be small, but most of them are actually pretty small. So that's exciting. And then I'll be able to show you those as well. And it'll give me something to do while I'm visiting my family. That's a hit or miss. That may or may not happen. I don't know. I'm not going to pressure myself. I mean, I only get to see my family twice a year. So, you know. So that is happening this week as well. And then I'm working on my Stiach Along video. Because I want to wipe the floor with these other teams. I'm so competitive. I didn't know that this was me, because I was never into like competitive sports or anything. Like, I did not like competition. I did not like competitive sports, but competitive crafting, it is on. Okay, let's talk about, I think we're in the stash enhancement section, the haul section of the video. So if you're not interested in that, thanks for joining. I'm really happy to have you here, and I will see you next week. And if you want to see what I got some neat stuff. I got some different stuff, which makes me really happy. So let's talk about that. Okay. So first of all, I got some new scissors. I got some ring lock scissors. I think they're by Premax. I'll put them right here. These are amazing. They are amazing. Not only are they like beautiful and sleek and made in Italy, but they cut amazing. The only scissors to my mind that cut better than these that I own are my Saju scissors, which were, I think, 10 times the price, maybe 8 times the price. But I got these pretty cheap on Etsy is where I got these, but I love them. I got some ribbon. This ribbon is to make bows for spool wreaths, which I'll be offering on my Etsy shop when that update happens. And I will do a little video this week of when my site goes live and kind of run through what I have and that kind of thing. But I got these for that. I got a book. So I have not been feeling inspired by my weaving lately. I just haven't wanted to weave. It has not been exciting to me. It has not been something that I've wanted to experiment with anymore. I just basically completely lost interest in weaving, which, considering that was like my obsession for a year, is surprising. Now, the problem, of course, is that I have tons of yarn that I was planning on using for weaving. Now, one of my plans for this jar is to learn how to crochet and make granny squares. So like I have the supplies to do that and I can do that. But I haven't been excited about weaving, and I want to be excited about weaving again. So I got, well, and when I started weaving, the reason I started weaving was because I had all these hoops, right? All these hoops. And I discovered that you could do circular weaving on hoops. And I already had all these things. So I'm like, well, I might as well just, play around with what I have. But then, of course, I bought a loom, and I got a cheap loom. I did not buy an expensive loom. I bought like a $20 loom from Michael's. I was not going to spend a lot of money on it. I did buy a lot of clearance yarn, though. So I got Amazing Circular Weaving by Emily Nicolaides. Her circular weavings are really inspiring. And they look doable. So I just really love like little woven coasters. That is a great little gift. Or look at that wall hanging using negative space. So I've already looked through this a bit, and it's very, it's very inspiring, I guess, is all I can say. Look at how that one uses negative space. Like, isn't that beautiful? I just find that simplicity really, really striking. Anyway, so I got this, and I'm excited to see, like, look at that pillow. That's a pillow that you weave on one loom at the same time, which is genius. Anyway, I'm hoping that this will, over winter break, get me excited about weaving again so I can sort of, do some things. I think the problem is that I kind of monetized weaving like as soon as I started doing it. And in some ways, monetizing things like this just kills the joy, which is one of the reasons why I'm glad that my embroidery is mostly not monetized. And for cross stitch, I basically just chart things that I want to stitch and then offer them up for sale. That's kind of my business model for my cross stitch patterns. That's my model for my cross stitch patterns. So I don't feel the same way about those as I do about weaving, which I just feel like I never got the chance to like experiment because I was right away trying to figure out what people would want to buy. And that is a creativity killer, right? And in fact, I was supposed to do an arts festival yesterday, a craft fair yesterday in town that I paid for and everything. And I backed out. I'm like, I don't have time. Like I was dreading going to this craft fair. And I'm like, why am I signing myself up for a craft fair to set up in 30-degree weather with wind? Why am I doing that? Like, there's no reason for me to do that. That makes no sense. And so I backed out the day before. I called them and I forfeited my fee, and that was fine. I'm just like, consider it a donation. It's for, a local organization. I'm like, I'm considering that a donation. So I'm hoping that I can get my weaving joy back, because weaving is such a versatile art. Anyway, so I got that, which I'm very pleased with. And then The reason I didn't film last weekend is because I went to a conference. I went to a conference in Birmingham, Alabama. It was a medieval studies conference. I'm a medieval historian, but some people there are medieval art historians or medieval musicologists or medieval linguists or medieval lit faculty and researchers. And so I went shopping. I went to J-Man Fabrics. Got a bag. So I got some really cool things I'm really excited to show you. I got mostly fabric, but I also found squoval hoops. Squircular. This is not actually an oval. But it's a squared circle or a rounded cornered square. Hoops. They're DMC and I haven't tried them yet. They're still in the package. So I got a 10-inch hoop and I got an 8-inch hoop. And I like these because it gives you a little bit more room, right? It gives you a little more room. And then they also had like strawberries. They had strawberry shaped hoops. And so this is an 8-inch strawberry shaped hoop. I guess it's a rounded triangle. They are nice and thick. They seem pretty sturdy. I do want to sand them because there are some like rough bits on the other ones in particular. But I'm pretty pleased with those. I've been looking for rounded square hoops for a while. I have seen them for $40 on websites. And I'm sure that the ones that are $40 are better, higher quality than these. These were something like $8. But I'm not spending $40 on an embroidery hoop. It's just not happening. Like, it is not happening. So I got that. I also got some fabric. I got some bone colored fake leather and some black fake leather. And these are just remnants. So I just get remnants. And then I got a couple fat quarters that were going to be used for my craft fair, but I didn't use them because I decided to not do it. But I got this fat quarter with gray with little white Christmas trees. I got a green and red plaid. And then more autumnal-y remnants. I got what looks like little pebbles. And I got a pretty leaf pattern. Oh, I also got some micron pens for transferring embroidery designs. The person who runs Needle and Thread, I get their newsletter every day. She recommends micron pens, and these are gray, cool gray. And the final thing I got is 4 yards of sewing fabric. How cute is this fabric? It's almost all spools and like stitchy stuff with some sewing machines thrown in, and I love it so much. I am determined to make a dress out of this. That's the plan. I'm gonna make a dress out of this. About 4 yards. I'm gonna make a dress out of it. It is just a cotton, but I need to wash it. But I'm gonna make a dress out of this. I want to make a couple dresses. I have other fabrics that are right here. This is sort of my dress, my clothing fabric cube right here. And I want to make a dress out of this because this is honestly like, it's the cutest. It's the cutest fabric. And it's a really pretty blue color, which is like the color of my eyes, which you can't see because of my ring light. There, do you see it? My eyes. It matches my eyes. I'm so pretty. I'm so pretty. So those are my purchases. I think that's it. I feel like it should be it. I did order some things from Pam at Stitch New England, her shop Stitch New England, but it hasn't come yet. So I think that's it, which is good because it's actually not nearly as long as I thought it was going to be. But I do have to get this edited and posted and before I can stitch with my mom tonight. So I want to make sure I do that. But I do want to say, keep a lookout for my Etsy shop, my spoolery Etsy shop reopening this week. I will post a video and it'll probably just be a voice and computer video. So that way you can see all the cool things that I have posted. And it'll be a mixture between me in person with stuff to show you, so you can actually see the stuff, and me on the computer so you can see how it's listed. And I think that that will be a good video. Yeah, other than that, I'm working on some stitching. I have grading to do. I have a Stiact video to produce, and I'm excited. I'm gonna leave you, and I will see you during the week, and I will see you next weekend as well. Please take good care of yourselves and have a good one. Bye.